Hi everyone, this is Vince from EatSleepTechRepeat. I want to talk to you today about how I track my sleep for a solid 3 years every day, and now I sleep like a baby and wake up like a Disney princess. It's the only definition I can give it, sorry. But the truth is, everyone sleeps, but not everyone gets a good sleep. I have a lot of my friends, actually, as a matter of fact, that have been asking for suggestions and not so much consultation. I'm obviously far from being a professional, but the truth is I've been able to improve my sleep over the course of the 3 years, and I'm here to help you achieve that in a shorter span of time, because obviously I've made lots of mistakes. I've done it. I've done some experiments, done it the ways that did not work, but obviously found ways that work for me using tech, using my gadgets and using smart home technology. And then it works almost flawlessly now, in all honesty. Obviously, before we start, we need to talk about what devices you're going to need. And most of these devices are found in your everyday home now. You know, we're in a day and age where everyone's got this device now. You don't even need to be a geek or a nerd to own any of these devices. The first most important thing you need is a smartphone. For this particular video, I'm going to be using an Apple iPhone. The one I'm using is an 11 Pro Max, but it can be any iPhone that would use the apps and all the features that we will be talking about in this video. Now, the optional devices, I really highly suggest this. If you don't own any of these, I really think it's an investment. It'll be worth you having a look at this stuff, mainly because that's what helped me get to where I am today. Obviously, all the items and gadgets I'm going to be talking about, I'll put it in the description so that you can see, okay, how much do they cost? You know, which one do I start with? Because you don't need to buy all of them in one go. But again, you know, ultimately, it's all towards helping you get a good night's sleep. The first one is, like I said, you definitely need an Apple iPhone. Optional. Apple Watch, I think, is brilliant for what it does. You don't need the latest or the greatest on most of these devices. Even on the Apple smartwatch, I mean, I'm using the Series 5 at the moment. I have tested it on the Series 0 and it works pretty much just as good. The next thing that I think essential are Philips Hue smart lights. Now, Philips Hue, they've been around for a long time now, and a lot of people using them for calling, asking Siri to turn them on and turn them off and change it to green and change it to pink, change it to purple. I haven't really encountered many people, and I haven't seen anyone on YouTube that, tell me in the comment section if you actually know of people that actually use it for waking up and for sleeping. Philips Hue are excellent for not just for waking up, but actually, believe it or not, for putting you to bed. So we'll touch base on that later on. Best thing about it is you don't need the more expensive color and ambience ones. Again, I'll put all the link in the description. If you're one of those people like myself who own the Apple HomePod, if you don't have one, check out the review. Now that you have all the devices, it's also a good idea to talk about what apps are you going to need. Obviously, there are other apps that you can use for this, but I'm going to talk about the ones that I've used. One of the first things I've used is the Sleepwatch app. Also, Pillow, very critical to this video. So if you want to improve your sleep, download them from the link below. The next thing that you need is obviously the Philips Hue app. Now, like I said, just to remind you, I am not an expert when it comes to sleeping. I'm just here really to help you sleep better using your devices. I've had a look on the website Medical News Today. Let's have a read what it says. It says, and the Medical News Today, sleeping is important because it gives you better productivity and concentration, lower weight gain risk, better calorie regulation, greater athletic performance. Next one is lower risk of heart disease. Who doesn't want that? Another one is more social and emotional intelligence, lower inflammation. The last one is stronger immune system. 9 benefits in total. It's all towards helping you out. The next thing I wanted to discuss is the different stages of sleeping, mainly so you can understand, right, why are there different stages and why do I care about sleeping stages. It is important because each one gives you different benefit and you need them all in order to have a good sleep and also in order to wake. Obviously, if you get the good sleep, you wake up better. The first one is obviously being awake when you lie down. You're obviously not asleep yet. So the first stage, or stage 1, is still being awake. Your heartbeat slows down, your eye movement slows down, and your heart rate slows down as well, because you're preparing yourself to sleep. Stage number 2 is light sleep. Your muscles and your eyes relax. Now the next stage is a deep sleep. Bad part about the deep sleep, as good as it sounds, is it's the hardest stage of you to wake up from. The last step is obviously REM, rapid eye movement. You must have heard of it. It's when you get dreams. Your eyes apparently start twitching. I don't know, obviously, because I'm sleeping during that time. Obviously, the next thing we're going to talk about is preparation for sleeping. I think one of the key things I learned in getting a better night's sleep is sleep rhythm. Sleep rhythm means getting a pattern that'll make you sleep virtually the same time. And I'm not joking. I have a 5-minute window when I fall asleep. I have, I'll show you the evidence later, but I fall asleep within 5 minutes only because of practice and time again, and because of rhythm. And in order to get rhythm, you need to put yourself to bed every night at the same time. So how do you get a good sleep rhythm? First one is don't eat late. What I do is I don't eat 3 hours or 4 hours before sleeping. So let's say that you go to bed about 10 o'clock. That means the latest time you should eat is about 6 o'clock, because your digestive system needs to relax and rest. And obviously, if it's digesting, then it will help you with your sleeping. This is the fun stuff. You obviously need some sort of dimming lights, but what I use is the Philips Smart Hue system. I only use them mainly because they integrate very well with the Apple HomeKit. They work on the iOS Home app and works quite flawlessly, in my opinion. The reason why you need Philips Hue dimming lights is because you can control it with your phone. You can set them on timer, so you don't have to worry, okay, what time is it now? Do I have to dim it now? You keep forgetting it every night. You set it once and it sorts it out. Right, the first thing you need to do is go to your Philips Hue app and click on, at the bottom, click on routines. And obviously I've cleaned up all my previous routines so you can see it the way as you would as well. Click on create routine. I would name it, just in case you will make several different ones. I've called my one, let's put it bedtime prep. And because I sleep at about 9:30, so we'll put it at 9:30. And pick the days, and obviously for the sake of this demonstration, we'll pick all of the days, Monday all the way through to Sunday. You can change the fade out time at any time you want, but I suggest go for the shorter one so that it would simulate, your eyes sort of shutting slowly. Obviously you need to pick the rooms that you need to use that for, and I would only suggest the bedrooms that you're going to need it for. Click done, go back and save it, and that's it. Simple as that. Now you think, why is it important to dim your lights prior to sleeping? It's because of a chemical that your body produces called melatonin. Melatonin, without going into too much technical details, helps you go to bed when you have blue lights, which is produced by your smartphone and your devices. It stops melatonin from being produced. And obviously the more melatonin that you have, the easier you'll fall asleep. So you think, yeah, do it. Now, preparing for a good night's sleep, you also need to get stuff ready for waking up. Now, the good thing about smart home devices is you only need to do it, hopefully, the one time if you get it right. How I set my one, the first thing that you need to do is prepare your alarm in the morning. Now, very important point, when you set alarms, I never use any sound when I wake up. You can use one or two things. You can use either the Pillow app, which is, again, you've got the link below. They have a premium in-app purchase where it allows you to have a silent vibrate alarm. Absolutely fantastic, definitely worth it. So I bought a full year subscription. Number 2, Sleepwatch also has the same function. The free app is available, but when you have the in-app purchase, it lets you have a silent alarm functionality as well. And I couldn't stress out how brilliant it is compared to using a normal alarm clock with sound. You know, how many times have you actually woke up from an alarm clock, say, yes, thank you very much for waking me up? So the silent alarm clocks, on the other hand, the simple way of explaining the silent alarm clocks is because they're linked to your sleeping apps, which tracks your sleep. It tries to figure out what stage of sleep you're in. And you remember I talked earlier about deep sleep and light sleep, and when you're in REM, you're so much into that stage that it's not the best time to wake you up. What the silent alarm does, on the other hand, is it waits until you're in light sleeping stage, which it all changes during the stage of your sleep. You have no control over this stuff. When your device figures out, okay, this guy's in light sleep, it starts to vibrate. Slowly, not like that, but I don't know, slowly, gently, but it would eventually wake you up.
Right, the other way, the second way of waking up, in case you don't have an Apple Watch, is use your Philips Hue lights. Again, we're at the home screen of the Philips Hue app. Go to routines, click at the bottom, click on wake up. Now we'll create a new one here for the sake of this demonstration. We'll just leave the name. You can leave it like that, or name it whatever you need to. Now the time, I would say, let's just say 6 o'clock for the sake of the demonstration. Click Monday to Sunday, fade it in, I would say in 10 minutes, to give you that sort of waking up, sort of, you know, it simulates like a sunrise effect, really. Click on what rooms. I would say just the master bedroom for this one. Click done, go back. You can even turn it off at a particular time. I would say just turn it off at 7 o'clock for the sake of it, so we'll save a little bit of electricity. Save it, and you're done.
So that you wake up like a Disney princess. So again, that's preparation, very important. Make sure you don't miss it. I've listed out the steps below anyway, so you can review it again. Go back to this video, watch it again, because this is something that you have to practice, something that you have to do several times in order to get better at it. The last few things that I suggest is meditation, getting rid and forgetting about everything you've done that day, clearing your mind out, meditating and just sitting down and just thinking of nothing. Just give you 2 minutes or 5 minutes. It's more than enough. It calms you down and gets you ready for bed. So sit in a dark room or somewhere quiet, shut your eyes, meditate for 2 minutes to 5 minutes. The last thing is the breathing app. Believe it or not, it works absolute wonders. I don't know, how many of you actually use the breathing app? You know, click on the comment below and tell me how long you've been using it now, see whether it actually works for you. But yes, one of the best things I've ever tried and tested is using the breathing app before going to bed. When I use the breathing app, I actually only use 2 minutes of it, because when you click the breathing app, so you go to your breathing app within your Apple Watch, you can scroll up or down about how many breaths you want to do. You can change the settings within the settings app, but mine's set to 9 breaths every minute. I usually set it to 2 minutes, and that, you know, you just press start, and then it says in there, be still and bring your attention to your breath. And this is critical. Listen to the instructions. You know, it's gonna be dead simple. You inhale basically when it goes big, and then you exhale when it goes out. And then you literally look at it. It's got the haptic feedback happening right now, but you just look at it. Breathe out, breathe in again, hold it, and breathe out. And I'm not joking. Do that for 2 minutes every day. It might not work. It might not work the first time. I don't know, but it works to me almost every single night. Obviously, don't forget, do this when you're lying down, when you're literally about to go to sleep. And without a word of a lie, in most cases, I don't actually get to finish it. I just pass out. So there you go. Those are hopefully relatively simple steps on how you can sleep better, you'd feel fantastic. I would say come back after 1 week. I really highly suggest it because I want to know, is it working for you? Is it not working for you? But come back in 1 week, come back in 1 month. Let me know in the comments below. Is it working? What devices did you buy? What devices didn't do you well? And what devices helped you out the most? And thank you for watching. You guys are great. Thank you, and we'll see you again next time.